Man, the cat, we are live. Cat, we are live.
We live. We live.
Oh man, welcome back to No Excuses, man. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh man, fat. Before we go any further, man. Before we go any further, you know what you got to tell the people to do, man.
Man, like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Hit the post notification.
What you say, cat? Cat. Something going on with your internet?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
heard you just then. What you good to go?
Yeah.
Are we good to go now?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I hear you.
Yo, it sounds like you keep coming in and out.
Oh shit. I don't know. It look like the hell. Look straight
All right,
right here.
now. All right,
It's
now you
like it's
good to
like
go.
my
Now you
word.
good to
Is
go.
my
So,
words
man,
not
welcome in, man. We
okay.
experienced some technical difficulties to start the episode out, but anyway, man, welcome in to No Excuses, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, man. Episodes drop weekly every Wednesday, man. Streaming live on Facebook, share it on Facebook, streaming on the YouTube channel, man. At No Excuses channel on YouTube. Give us a follow, man. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. We really would appreciate it. Cap, SEC championship the other day. We as Bama fans, man, gotta talk about it. Would rather not talk about it, but man, what an awful performance by Alabama. So man, breaking down and looking back at the SEC championship, fan, give me some thoughts you got on it, man. You heard me, Cap?
I ain't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear nothing you said.
Give me
I hear you
SEC
now.
championship, man. Give me your thoughts on it.
Oh man. Going into that game, I kind of figured it was going to be difficult to beat Georgia a second time in the same season. Kirby Smart led team, coach team. So I mean, I figured even on the sheet I picked Georgia. I felt like Georgia would win that game. I didn't think it was going to be that way. You know, so I didn't think they was going to go away with it like that. But man, we started off bad, man. I can just tell by how we started. Like it just wasn't a game that was meant for us to win, man. Like we just never was really presented the opportunity to win. Like getting the ball, in bad field position, and they getting the ball in good field position. It was a game of like field position. Like we just never could like get no good field position. In Georgia, they, you know, the opportunities that they got with our mistakes, they capitalized on all of them, man. So yeah, man, it was a meltdown, complete meltdown for Alabama and Georgia. It was one of the better performances they put on all year. Uh, and you could tell that they was more hungry for that game. They wanted Bama. You know what I'm saying? They got tired of, people saying that Bama they couldn't beat Bama. Bama was, that kryptonite or whatever. And they took advantage of their opportunity, man. We gave them a lot of opportunities, man. I'm not saying Georgia didn't earn it. I'm not saying Georgia didn't go out there and do their thing and, dominate like they did, but Alabama gave them a lot of opportunities, man, and it came back to bite us, man. Like uh the run game was non-existent the whole game. You know what I'm saying? We really haven't had much of a run game all season. Ty was bad. Man, I think the defense played, decent. It was just they was put in bad predicaments, man. When they get in the short side of the field majority of the game, man, it's hard for you to tell get your defense to be able to rally up and keep being able to make stops when they get in the ball and they ain't got but 25 yards or 20 yards to, score. Like it's a hard ask, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Offensively, we continue to struggle. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with it. Uh, Obviously, like I say, the run game hasn't been there, but we was still finding ways to, still had this offense at a better rate than we had, a better pace than we've had it. We've had it like for the past month, I can say. Uh, I think and this is not making no excuse or nothing like that. But I think Jam Miller was missed in this game. You know what I'm saying? Because Jam Miller, he's been there, done that, played in a lot of big games for us, and especially when he plays against like high level competition. Jam Miller does show up in big games. I feel like he was missed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Josh Cuevas was missed in this game. We needed him. LT Overton, him not playing, that obviously that plays a fact. Any starter that did play gonna play a factor in the game. Like, I'm not making no excuse, but I mean you do need your starters when you playing somebody like Georgia. Like you need all hands on deck to beat Georgia. This is Georgia, you know what I'm saying? So all that plays an effect, didn't it? But man, I can't take nothing away from Georgia, man. Georgia went out there and dominated, man. They look like a championship squad. Like you can't that looked like a Kirby Smart defense. Like that the defense that people been waiting on all season, that's what they look like against Alabama this past Saturday. You know what I'm saying? But man, they back to back SEC champions, you know what I'm saying? Gotta tilt my hat off to Kirby Smart. He had a great game plan. You know what I'm saying? The rattle Ty Simpson and he did it, man. You know what I'm saying? He outcoached he outcoached Ryan Grubb. And they, you know what I'm saying? They great offensive minded coaches, but Kirby had some for him the second time, man. Like I say, it's hard to beat a good team twice, in the same season. But yeah, I thought that we would have had a better performance than that. Obviously it was a letdown, but I mean, we did get granted a second chance of making the playoffs, and maybe we get better. We got to get better, man.
So man, a few cliff notes from me from the SEC championship game was, man, number one, and this might sound, very cliche or any other word you want to use for it, but man, first off, man, I tip my cap to Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs in that football program because, Fat, it was very obvious they wanted that game far more than Bama did. So I don't say that in a manner of me trying to downplay what Georgia did. I'm saying that as a testament to I'm glad somebody still believes in the SEC championship the way that I've always lived and wanted to watch SEC championship. Georgia like a vintage SEC team. So man, I tip my cap to Georgia for that. That's cliff note number one. Number two for me, Alabama's special teams is terrible. Just gonna call it what it is, man. Special teams wise, not a very good football team, man. The kicking is shaky with Connor Talty. You got a punt blocked in the ball game. Talty didn't miss a field goal in this game because he didn't get to attempt one except for extra point. They be scoring a what I would call a garbage time touchdown by the time we scored. You had a punt blocked in the game. Blake Dowd's punting in the game was awful when he did get a punt off. One of the punts was so damn short and shallow to Zachariah Branch. He hit you on a nice return. They get Georgia to start that position on the plus side of the 50-yard line. Alabama's special teams were awful, man. It was absolutely awful. Ty Simpson was dreadful. He was bad. I don't have many positives to take away from this game from the Alabama side, man, because to be honest, there ain't much positive. Something positive to me, I thought the other day for the first time all season, I thought Ryan Williams looked like the most explosive player on our offense, and I kind of been waiting 12 weeks to see that. And even then, man, then, while Ryan did have a couple of plays where he, hit you with some wild moves because he's just that type of player, he still had a bad drop on a touchdown in the end zone. Granted, it was a contested catch. Ellis Robinson, the Georgia defensive back, was all over him. He was covering him, but man, Ryan has to make that catch. I'm sorry, he does. I thought Ryan, but real talk, outside of that, man, I didn't think Ryan looked more like Hollywood to me than he have all year. That's some positive I take away from it. I thought defensively Alabama played as well as they've been playing. But whenever you continuously put them in bad predicaments, they can't keep holding these teams out of the end zone. I mean, eventually that comes back to bite you. Offensively gave you nothing.
Yeah.
Special teams gave you nothing. I'll be honest, fam, and I'm not saying this like on some emotional fan type shit that ain't supposed to come off like that. It got to a certain point watching that fact, I don't think Alabama cared to win the game. That's what it seemed like to me.
Come on. Yeah.
It got to a point. It didn't seem like they cared about winning this ball game to me, man. I'm not trying to take nothing away from what Georgia did, man, because Georgia played really well in the game. In fact, think about it like this, man. As bad as Bama looked, in my opinion, as bad as Alabama looked, in my opinion, right? In fact, that ball game was still interesting late in the third quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a very, very disappointing performance, especially only because I've seen Alabama play in so many SEC championships, and Alabama show out when they go to Atlanta, man. They didn't this past week. Understandable. That streak was bound to come to an end at some point anyway. I think they won like their last 11 or 12 straight games there. So they was bound to lose there again, but you know what I'm saying, eventually, but I don't know. But on to something positive from this past weekend, Alabama did lose the SEC championship game. However, they still managed to make the college football playoff. Alabama made the college football playoff. Man, let's clap it up for DeBoer and company. So, Cat, man, how you feel about Bama getting in the playoff?
We did do that. Man, I feel good as a fan. I mean, you want your team to be in the playoffs. So, I mean, I feel good about us, man. You know what I'm saying? I haven't given up on this team because I still think this team has yet to put it all together. Like both sides of the ball show up. It always be one side show up and the other one don't show up. So I'm just ready to see this team put it all together, and I think they can. They definitely have the talent, And I think they got the coaches, but they gotta rally it, man. They gotta be consistent. So I'm happy, man. I'm glad. I'm not one of them fans that, oh man, we don't deserve to be in the how we've been looking. I ain't one of them fans. If that's what you're looking for, you ain't gonna find that in me. I'm glad to be in the playoffs, man. And we'll see where we go. We'll see how far we can get in. I'm happy.
I want to say this for just man, looking back on this season thus far, after the way Alabama performed in week 1 in Tallahassee at Florida State, to go from that point to where we are now, remarkable job by Kalen DeBoer and his staff. From the way that I saw that defense play at Florida State to how they played here recently down the stretch, really for me since the first half of the Vanderbilt game, Alabama's been playing pretty close to, if not we just call it elite defensively. So a ton of credit to Kane Womack. I don't care what anybody says or anybody how anybody tries to slice it. Kalen DeBoer's second season at Alabama has already been a success. How has it been a success? Because we all said coming into this year, man, you got to make the playoff. He made it. He made the college football playoff, man. So I think that's that's an accomplishment that shows that Greg Byrne made the right hire. You go 9-3 the first year. The second year, you go 10-2. You finish the regular season on top of the SEC standings. You lose, make it to Atlanta to the SEC championship. Obviously, you lose in the championship game, but you go from 9-3 to 10-2 in the regular season. Throw on the extra game, now you're 10-3. So there's a one game improvement already. So anything from this point forward is icing on the cake as far as DeBoer's season goes. I want to say this, man, to the people that act as if Alabama don't belong in the playoff due to the performance against Georgia the other day. I find it downright comical. I find it funny. It's laughable. And it's only laughable because, man, there's so much hypocrisy. There's so much hypocrisy in it. Last year, when SMU lost their conference championship game, you all vouched for SMU to be in the playoff over Alabama because SMU made it to the conference championship. We fast forward a year later. Now Alabama's in the conference championship, and y'all, the people that just sure enough hate Alabama, were vouching for Notre Dame and Miami and whoever else the hell you could come up with. Alabama was after Alabama beat Auburn. Yeah, I said it plain as day. When Bama beat Auburn, they were locked in the playoff. I said that. Said it.
Yeah.
The part that actually shocked me fat was Bama didn't even move. I thought Bama would at least drop to 10. That's what I thought. Even that didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Cool. What is it about Alabama that makes people view things differently when only specifically talking about Alabama? Alabama, the only team that I see this get said about when they win games, they have to look a certain way while they win. I don't hear that about nobody else.
Yeah. Nobody, no. Nobody else. It's a fatigue, man. Yeah. 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 It's always been like that. Like, and then it's like with us making the playoffs this year, and like last year, like you say, you touched on SMU, and they made it, and they participated for their conference championship. Nobody had a problem with them getting in, but somehow the metrics change when it's Alabama. No, it's the same metrics. If this team make it to the conference championship, especially Alabama playing in the best conference, having 4 ranked wins, they deserve to be in the playoffs. Like, why the metric change now? You know what I'm saying? I don't. It like you say, that only applies to Alabama. We have to beat teams by 50 every week. We we have to in the SEC championship game. We had to win that game to beat her. Like the metrics just changed with Alabama. I don't understand that, but like I say, it's just a long time hate, man. Is you tired of seeing this team? You know what I'm saying? And Nick did what he did at Alabama. You know, he was so successful for so long, won a lot of championships, did it. You know, the best, in my opinion, the GOAT. I don't think a lot of people would disagree with that. So it's a fatigue with Bama, man. Like people just tired of it. They want to, kill. They want to bury this team. They buried the team after the Florida State loss. It was so many people saying it's over with. Bama, they done. Like every time something like Bama lose a game, people over at least one game early in the season, people over exaggerate, and they go on to make it to the SEC championship or the college football playoffs, and then people be looking stupid because they wrote them off so early. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand that. That's just I think it's a fatigue with Alabama. People just they want to bury Alabama, man. They want to bury them. I knew people was gonna be mad when Bama made the playoffs, but I knew they was going anyway. But I knew it was gonna cause an uproar. I knew that. Like this don't shock me.
And the part that gets me, man, I try to be consistent, man. I try to use logic when I have these debates, especially with Bub. Bub, big Auburn fan, and he damn. When we start talking about Alabama, that's when he started cracking all his jokes because his logic leaves the room.
Yeah.
But I told him, you heard me tell him multiple times, time and time again, right? Alabama losing to Georgia, they were going to the college football playoff. I told him that. He knew that. Other people knew that. But yeah, the same people still tuned in to watch Selection Sunday, hoping some kind of way that Bama wasn't going to be in it. Fat, I promise you, when I was watching Selection Sunday, I wasn't watching to see if Bama was going to make it. I was watching to see who Bama was going to be playing. I promise y'all, I don't say this to come off in a know-it-all type of way, because that ain't the type of person that I try to present myself to be, because I'm not that type of person. I was very adamant and confident in Bama going to the playoff.
Yeah.
Very confident in it.
Yeah.
I said it numerous times. So I wasn't shocked that Bama got in. It didn't shock me at all.
Yeah. It wasn't shocking. Nah.
What's so difficult to grasp about the concept that the team that played in the conference championship, who lost that conference championship to a team that they already beat this year on their home field, might I add, was going to the 12-team playoff. Then Bub last night, shout out to Bub. Bub last night tried to argue me, wanted to argue me down. I wouldn't go all the way to the argument with him because I just wasn't going to do it because Bama already in it now. Some kind of way he thought that if Virginia beat Duke, that Bama wasn't going. I'm here to tell you, I want to make this clear. If Virginia wins the ACC, there's one team that's currently in the playoff that wouldn't be in it. And that team is not Alabama. That team is James Madison. That's who would be in it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get what's difficult to grasp about that. This is a playoff team. They 1,000% deserve to be there. They earned their way there. They won 10 games.
Yeah.
That schedule, Alabama's schedule finished at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken, it was ranked number 11. So they was comparing Alabama to Notre Dame, whose schedule, if I'm not mistaken, was ranked number 42, and Miami's was number 44, and Alabama had more ranked wins than both of them.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Yeah.
It baffles me the fact that people looked at Alabama's resume and went, "Oh yeah, how dare they get in?" What are you talking about?
Don't make sense.
They were a shoe-in. The committee did not have a
Don't
hard
make
time
sense.
putting Bama in it. I promise you
No.
that.
No. It was never a conversation about Bama getting in. It was Miami and Notre Dame. It was never Alabama. Bama was in there regard. Hence the why Bama never moved. Bama was a lock in the playoffs. They was never going to move. Like, go look at these resumes side by side. Like, this is come on, man. This is laughter. This is funny. Like, come on, man. I'm not sitting up here saying Miami and Notre Dame are not good football teams. But when you can't compare these resumes to Alabama, come on, man. You can't compare these resumes. It's not even comparable. Like, Bama at the time, that Missouri win, when they rattled off all the wins, those were good wins at the time. Now, most of them teams not ranked now, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, those were good wins. You know what I'm saying? The trump card is going to Georgia beating Georgia. That was the trump card that neither one of the other teams had. So that come on, like, I was just based off of that. They getting in, bro. Like, they issue in the playoffs. It was never a conversation. Like, it was never. Oh man, maybe I knew that Bama. I thought, well, I'm with you. I thought they was gonna at least move Bama to 10, but to see that they was, still at 9, oh yeah, they was a lot the whole time.
Fat, I will go as far to say not only the trump card in that particular debate,
and made the conference championship.
Fat, Alabama going and winning at Georgia might be the best win of any team left in the team in the playoff. Other than, if you want to say Indiana beating Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, that's 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it's 1 and 2. And people might would say that Bama at Georgia might be more impressive because it was actually at Georgia. Indiana, Ohio State was a neutral site game, and that game was actually played in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever that counts for, but that point we kind of split hell. Either way it goes, that win is more impressive than 97% of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, it's tough to beat that. You can't leave that out. I understand what you saw the other day will probably make you think there ain't no way in hell that Alabama team beat that Georgia team. I'm telling you, it happened this year.
Yeah.
Not only did Alabama beat them at Georgia, they never trailed in the ball game.
Yeah.
Like that, it happened.
Yeah.
It baffles me, man. It baffles me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I understand Bama fatigue and hate. I get all that. I understand that. Got no problem with that, man, because that's part of the game. I don't like when the conversation no longer become objective.
Yeah.
When you're just speaking purely from emotion. You have no logic.
It be feelings over facts.
All the people that say that Bama shouldn't be in it, they never provide you any clear context on why Bama should be in it. If your whole argument is, oh man, they ain't look good in the past month, you ain't got no argument. You ain't got no argument.
Because at this point, it's feelings over facts. It's feelings over facts at this point. Because it's nothing you saying that's factual. You're just going off a feeling of how you feel about this team. You don't like this team. So, yeah, they haven't played good in a month. But you can't ignore their resume. These are facts. When you start using feelings, I'm going to start using facts. That's what the committee did. Y'all acting off feelings. They using facts. Look at these numbers. Look at his resume. Side by side by these teams. How is this team not qualified for the playoffs? Come on, man. Y'all going off feelings. That's cool. That's a good debate for y'all to have. They in the playoffs, man. Like, it's cool, but I mean, it ain't going. You're not stopping nothing. Like, this is happening. They're going to the playoffs. They're locked. They're a shoe in.
They're in it.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, to be honest, it's not a secret, man. It's not a secret. The vast majority of the college football world hate Alabama.
Yeah.
When Alabama is playing against your favorite team has a whole lot of new fans just for that day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, you know
Yeah, when
how,
Bama loses, it's a whole different atmosphere when they lose.
like, you know how you will see the Auburn fans cheer for Georgia in the SEC championship, and then they start cheering for whoever else that Alabama plays, right? I don't know cases where Bama playing anybody and the fan Alabama has more than just Alabama fans on their side.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Yeah.
ever happens.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Nah, that don't
Or am I
exist.
missing something?
That don't exist.
It
That don't
never
exist.
happens.
That don't
So I
exist.
understand
Yeah.
the hatred of Alabama. I get it. Totally understand it, man. I just think to try to sit up here and downplay what that football team did throughout the entirety of this season is shameful. It's shameful. What Alabama did in the month of October alone, them 4 ranked wins at Georgia, at home versus Vanderbilt, at Missouri, who Missouri was coming off a bye, beat Tennessee by 17. Tennessee was ranked at the time. That's a playoff team.
Yeah.
I don't care how
Yeah.
y'all try to slice it. Texas A&M went 11-1. You know who A&M struggled with? Auburn. Georgia went 11-1. You know who Georgia struggled with? Auburn. But Bama beating Auburn 27-20 in the rivalry game that you know Auburn gonna get up for because they do every time their game is played in Jordan Hare Stadium. That somehow was a knock for Bama. But we just forget Georgia, Texas A&M, both of them struggled with Auburn this year too. Think I'm lying, go look at them scores. That happened. It happened. I don't know, man. Maybe that could just be me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Oh man. Can't you still with me? Something going on with the internet. Well, we gotta wait till we can get fat back. I don't know what happened with fat. Fat has disappeared from the chat. I do not know what happened, but I reckon I'm gonna close this one out solo. That's what it's looking like. But man, so it's been a thing, right, with Notre Dame. Notre Dame missed the college football playoff, right? And I'm gonna be honest, man. Do I think Notre Dame got snubbed? No, I don't. Because Notre Dame does this thing where they want to be independent when it comes to college football. They conveniently use and play in the ACC's conference in 24 other sports, But football, they want to be independent to keep the football money, obviously. We know what that's about. But nonetheless, so you keep the money for football, but you want to join the conference and everything else. In 2020, during COVID, Notre Dame wanted to play football so bad. I'm a football person. I love that. Shout out to Notre Dame for doing that. They conveniently joined the ACC for that one season, got to the ACC championship, got to the college football playoff, and as soon as the season was over with, they got out of the ACC. But they used the ACC to pick and schedule 5 teams out of it because the ACC is mostly viewed as the weakest conference in the country. Notre Dame had 2 tough games all year, man. Week 1, they opened. They had to go to Miami. In the second game, they played Texas A&M. They had the full offseason to prepare for Miami. After they lost that game, they had a bye week. Literally, they had a bye week in week 2, right before Texas A&M came to town, and they lost both of those ball games. They went on to win the rest of their games. They didn't play anybody. Go look it up. The most impressive win, USC or Pitt, whatever. Just the resume wasn't impressive enough, man. Do I think Notre Dame is one of the 12 quote-unquote best teams in the country that could probably qualify and should have been a playoff team? Maybe. I hear that. I'm not totally opposed to that. There has to come a certain point in college football where it's not about whether we think you belong or not. There has to come a certain point where you have to show and tell, show and prove that you belong on this stage. And Notre Dame, they just failed to do that, man. There wasn't the wins. There's not the resume. Like, respectfully, going on the road and beating Pitt, I'm not trying to clown the Pittsburgh Panthers, their football program. They be on the sheet sometimes. Hell, I pick Pitt more often than I pick against them, to be honest. But beating Pitt ain't exactly equivalent to beating Georgia, beating Vanderbilt, beating Pitt about like beating Tennessee. Notre Dame's best win is equivalent to Alabama's 3rd or 4th. Like, Pitt is in the ballpark with Tennessee and Missouri. I don't say that because I'm trying to prop up Alabama's resume. I'm just giving logic whenever we're talking about Notre Dame. For Notre Dame to decline playing in the bowl game, I want to make something very clear. I think bowl games are honestly a dying thing in college football anyway. So it's not the biggest deal that they're not playing in the bowl game. It's the optics and the way that it looks, the way that Notre Dame went about doing it by not playing the bowl game. That's the part that just really rubbed me the wrong way. It's like you're quitting, you're pouting, you're taking your ball and going home. You're upset that you missed the college football playoff when you think you deserved it. And I'm trying to figure out, on what planet did Notre Dame deserve that final playoff spot over Miami when Miami beat them head to head? Because for everybody that wanted to argue Notre Dame versus Alabama, you have to keep in mind, Alabama was ranked 9, Miami was 10. Tulane and James Madison were 11 and 12 because you had to put your one group of 5 champion in it, which was Tulane. And then the next conference champion happened to be James Madison because the ACC champion this year, Duke, didn't qualify for the playoff because they weren't ranked. The argument for that last spot wasn't my Notre Dame, Alabama. It was Notre Dame, Miami, a team that, let me remind you of the team, the same Miami team that beat Notre Dame in week 1. So I want you to, somebody explain to me. What up? Just the logic that goes into, or that makes sense for saying Notre Dame deserved to be in over Miami. It don't make sense. There ain't a sport that you've ever watched, any head-to-head scenario, any tiebreaker, the first determined is head-to-head. If they beat you, you don't go in front of them. That's even like now, when I look at the rankings, how they finished, look at the rankings and how they finished. Every head-to-head mattered. Oklahoma was in front of Alabama. Why? Bama beat them head-to-head. Even before we got to the Big Ten championship, Indiana stayed in front of Oregon. Indiana ended up winning the Big Ten anyway. But when they beat Oregon, they stayed in front of Oregon because they beat them head-to-head. What's another case we got on there? Texas is ranked over Vanderbilt, who has a better record. Vanderbilt got a better record than Texas. In the final rankings, the very final poll, what you saw Sunday, Texas is ranked in front of Vanderbilt. Why? Because they beat them head-to-head. We can't sit up. Georgia stayed in front of Ole Miss the entire time. Why? Because they beat them head-to-head. If Alabama would have beaten Georgia, I guarantee you in that final poll, Georgia would have been ranked probably in front of Ole Miss because they beat them head-to-head. Head-to-head has to matter. Whenever people went to talking about how you look down the stretch of the season and wanting to use FPI plus metrics and strength of schedule, strength of record, all that, these two teams played and one team won. It don't get no more simple than that. We don't have to overcomplicate this, is what I'm trying to say. You know, that's just Notre Dame, I'll be honest, man, they always have kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Never been a fan of Notre Dame. Not necessarily I wouldn't call myself a Notre Dame. Notre Dame ain't won shit in too long to have haters. They ain't won nothing. I think Notre Dame views themselves as bigger than the program. I think that Notre Dame still thinks that brand and that name and the Fighting Irish and the gold helmets or whatever, you know, the Rudy movie, I think they think all that shit still ring off today, and they still hold the same weight that they did maybe in the 80s. But let's be honest, man, in 2025, a lot of people really don't care about Notre Dame. Notre Dame taking their ball and going home. People really don't give a damn. Like, nobody gives a damn at Notre Dame, because you have to look at it, man. We watched Notre Dame time and time again over the years getting these types of games. And when they get there, they've been the poster child for the team that gets there and gets absolutely smoked when they get there. I'm not making that up. That's a fact. Go pull up. They got a track history of it. So I'm not making that up, man. I'm not trying to bash on Notre Dame. But I thought the decline in the bowl game, the choosing to opt out of, I thought it looked very soft. It looked weak. It looked childish. I thought it was petty. I think bowls are dying. Anyway, to be honest, I honestly have a very good idea for college football with your bowls, as opposed to doing your bowl season at the end of the year. Hey, why not? Let's just take opening weekend and make it bowl season. Make it bowl season. You already paying the players. They can't opt out of it because it'll be the first week of the season. Make the opening weekend of college football like bowl season. Have you an SEC Big Ten challenge, ACC Big 12 challenge? I don't know why that's not already being done yet, so that we can get rid of all these scheduling Panera Breads to play. But that's just my opinion. That's just something I think should have been done a while ago. Maybe it'll get done one day. But Notre Dame had to be either A&M or Miami. If you looked at Notre Dame's schedule before the year started and you went, okay, they can lose 2 of these games. The only 2 games you're going to point at was Texas A&M and Miami. They lost both of them. Do I think Notre Dame is one of the 12 best teams? Maybe. They would be on the back half of the 12, but maybe. Do I think Jeremiah Love is one of the best players in the country? Yes. Do I think Marcus Freeman is a hell of a football coach? Yes. I actually like Notre Dame now more than I ever have because of Marcus Freeman, because I think he's just that good of a coach. But the take my ball and go home, I thought it was weak. I did. I can't respect it. I've never liked Notre Dame, man. I still don't. I don't understand, man, the people lobbying for Notre Dame. The part that really gets me is the SEC fan. I get the hate for Alabama. I understand that. But when I see SEC fans backing what Notre Dame do and the way that they manipulate the system, man, and pick and choose their schedule and mix and match it with these cupcakes. If you're a fan of the SEC team and the gauntlet you have to play every year, there's no way you respect that. You can't. You can't. But that's my personal opinion, man. I do not know what happened to Fat in this episode, but he kind of just fizzled out. So, but this is normally the part where I would turn to him and he would give his opinion. But me and Fat have talked about this off camera. He kind of agreed with everything that I just said, to be honest with you. So there's no more insight on that. But so yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for this week's edition of No Excuses, man. Next week we will be breaking down the college football playoff, getting into these round one matchups, man. I'm gonna be honest, probably not gonna spend a lot of time talking about James Madison at Oregon or Tulane at Ole Miss. I'll be honest, I don't really see a lot of analysis to get into on those. But man, we will get into Miami at Texas A&M. We certainly gonna get into the Alabama at Oklahoma, a rematch from earlier. So maybe a lot of fun stuff coming up, man. NFL starting to get better and better. We're going to start diving more into the NFL season, talking more about that. But that's all we got for this week's episode of No Excuses, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. This is No Excuses, and we out.